What's up, travelers? You have found the podcast that is here to explore the world. We are 5 travel experts, hooked on our trade, and ready to share our tales from around the world. You're listening to the Where We Roam podcast. Without further ado, let's roam. Hello, roamers, and welcome to this week's episode of the Where We Roam podcast. My name is John, and I am joined by 3 of my fellow podcasters and Sean, who had a makeover. Just kidding. That's just for those that are watching on YouTube. We have a special guest today. We have Mr. Zach Glenn. Hello, Zach. Welcome to the show.
Thanks,
How's
Sean.
it going?
It's great. Thanks for having me.
We're excited you're here. So, Zach, we've known you or your family for a little while. You guys, your wife used to work with us at our agency. You all now live an exciting life in another country, but tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, we currently live in London, so it is much later than it is here for you guys. But we moved here back in October. I'm a full-time travel agent and YouTube vlogger. We have a YouTube channel, Glenn Exploration Travel. It's going very well. In fact, tomorrow we have a new video aboard Symphony of the Seas, which is the sister ship to Utopia of the Seas. So we've been doing that for a few years, and I don't know. It's exciting to live over on the other side of the pond and be able to take other trips, and it helps me be a little bit more well-rounded, I think, in the travel space.
Sure.
Oh yeah, you get
fantastic.
to do all the trips that you can do the trips really quickly that take us like a year and a half of planning to accomplish.
Yeah. All those protocols over
true.
there are amazing. So yeah, love
great.
that,
Well,
Zach.
that, and we can be in Paris in 2 hours. So
Well, okay,
I
well,
mean,
thanks for that.
Incredible.
That's like a dream, honestly. Paris is maybe my favorite city in the world. I think Barcelona is my wife's favorite city. So, what is you live in Europe now? So, what is your favorite city in the world?
You know, I really love Rome. I
Okay.
think the food is great. I love the culture. I love the history. I don't know. There's just something about it that I could see myself spending weeks in Rome and just feeling at home. You know, but I also love
Okay.
London. I mean, so much to explore and
Of
see.
course.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Oh, I was always told never to tell people in London that you think Paris is prettier, because they always will get on you and be like, that's because they waved the white flag.
Oh,
Yeah,
Like-
they'll say that's bloody ridiculous. It is. I gotta practice my accent.
You're surrounded by it, so you have good opportunity.
exactly.
Well, welcome to the show. Today,
Thank
we're
you.
actually going to be we're doing a preview of a brand new ship that's being released this July by Royal Caribbean. Is it still July? I know they pushed it back. Didn't they push it back a couple weeks?
Mid-July, I
Still
believe.
July,
It's
mid-July.
mid-July instead of early. It's
Mid-July.
mid-July. And that's going to be the Utopia of the Seas. This is the 6th Oasis Class ship. It is going to be almost like a carbon copy with a few changes to Wonder of the Seas. And it is, being an Oasis Class ship, it is sister to Oasis, Allure, Symphony, Harmony. And then, of course, what we just mentioned, Wonder. And then there's going to be, I guess, a number 7 and a number 8 down the road. I think they've announced that, which
That's
is exciting.
exciting.
I guess they're really doubling down on the Oasis Class ships going forward. But the big news, and I think about this, is that, and I want to get your all's opinion, is this ship is going to they're not putting it in Miami, and they're not doing 7-night sailings. I think it's really interesting the fact that they're putting this as 3 and 4 night Bahamian itineraries out of Port Canaveral.
Yeah.
What are y'all's thoughts on that?
I think it's
You're
genius.
gonna get a lot of locals.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
locals,
It's
a
the
lot of
world's
Floridians.
biggest weekend.
Yeah.
That's very
Biggest,
true.
boldest,
Mhm.
biggest,
Biggest-
boldest weekend.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right.
No, I mean,
Can't
that's
forget that.
fair. Yeah. And
I think they may just be trying to hit a little bit of a different market. I mean, it's kind of shocking that they're putting it with their newest ship and not moving, one of the older Oasis class ships to the 3 and 4 nights. But I think, Dana has always been our testament to this, that she can hop on a cruise ship. She's in Florida. She's local.
Mhm.
It's so easy for her just to drive to a port hop on that long weekend trip. And, maybe that's what they're just trying to target with this one.
I think there's a lot of demand for that, because I have people call me all the time. 90% of the people I work with that out of Florida that cruise, they want Canaveral. They don't want to drive the extra hours to Miami, Jacksonville, St. Augustine, even like South Georgia, Alabama. Canaveral is just an easy port to get to. It's drivable. And, a lot of people can't take time off work. And if they're going to come in the day before the cruise, and then it's 3 or 4 nights, and then maybe they stay a day after or tack on a theme park or something like that, it becomes a week-long trip. So I really think it's very smart to try to target that group. And a lot of people with young kids, I'm hoping it will help pull people to travel more during the school year and not just heavy isolated in the summer, because you're not having to miss school. So, and everybody that I deal with here in Florida, they want to go to Coco Cay. Like if it's not going to Coco Cay, then they don't want it. So, I don't know. I think it's pretty smart. I actually really like it. And the Oasis class being the most popular, I think it's a genius move, honestly.
Well, and I'm based here in Atlanta. Go ahead, Zach.
Oh, I was just going to say that with Brightline extending their services to Port Canaveral, that's going to be a real game changer getting to the port. So,
yeah,
exactly.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was going to mention, being here in Atlanta, I know even though it's a far drive, we're still technically drivable. There's no way we're driving to Miami or Fort Lauderdale, but there are plenty of people who drive to Disney for fall breaks or other things like that. We definitely are drivable to Port Canaveral. Maybe not for a 3 nights, but there are plenty of people who will go and do a 3 or maybe like a 4 or 5 night sailing out of Port Canaveral, or tack that on to like stay at Disney or Universal. So it makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, the land and sea combos are really taking off. I mean, I'm working with a large family right now. They want to do cruise for a few days and then go to the parks for a few days. And so maybe if the Disney dates don't line up correctly, or the price point is a little bit better, then Royal can, definitely draw some of those land and sea vacationers in by having those shorter itineraries right at Canaveral.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
a good point.
I think it's smart.
Well, and it also opens up too that you have the anniversaries, birthday parties, bachelorette parties, so many other things that can attract consumers to that market for a short trip. I mean, it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, it really
I totally
is.
agree.
Very true.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I'm curious if it's going to how it prices. Like Dana, you've sold a lot of this to your clients because you have a lot of local like Floridians. So you've sold a lot of Utopia. How is the price comparing to, say, if they had have done a Mariner of the Seas for 4 nights or for 3 nights? Is it just a little bit more?
Definitely
Is it
more
a lot
expensive. I would say it's probably like $1,000 a night if you're doing like a balcony room. So I mean, that's going to be probably a significant jump from like Mariner. I wouldn't say it's too much off, but you are paying for a newer ship and the buzz of it and all of the things that it has to offer. So you are going to pay a little bit higher for that newer ship anyway, but it is pricing out a little bit higher. But again, you're paying for that premium experience.
No, for sure. It'll be interesting to see how they use this as an on-ramp for new cruisers as well, compared to, because a lot of people are wary to get on a ship for 7 nights, especially with all the bad press during COVID that, being trapped on a ship, came in. So it'll be interesting to see how they can use this as a gateway for people to discover their brand, but also really discover the best of their brand.
Imagine someone starts with Utopia, though. If you start with Utopia, you can't go down quite a bit.
It's going to be hard to go back.
But that's about it, right?
Go up to Icon, But I mean, that's true. Like a lot of people, especially with young kids, they want to try it out for 3 nights or try it out for 4 nights and kind of see how the kids do, see how it's structured, especially if they've never cruised before. So I think this is a good opportunity to capture some of those families with young children, or even multi-generational families who haven't cruised together or want to take a vacation, but they're like, I don't really know if I can tolerate them for 7 nights or whatever, so I think it's a good opportunity to kind of capture some of those audiences they haven't been able to capture before.
No, I agree. That's good. All right, let's go ahead and talk about. So we know that this ship is going to be a sister ship to Wonder and very similar to Wonder, but they are adding some dining venues. They are adding a couple different food options and bringing one or two things over from the Icon class. So let's start with dining and bars. Let's talk about the Tiki Bar. So I know that Royal had introduced a Tiki Bar on Mariner back in the day. What's the name of the one on Mariner where you get the Capri Sun pouch drinks, like the grown up Capri Suns? Do you guys remember the name of that bar?
I don't know, but I'm Googling it now.
Yeah, it was like a tiki bar on Mariner.
The bamboo? The bamboo
Yeah,
room?
that's it. The bamboo
Bamboo
lounge or something like that. Is that what it is?
It says it's called the bamboo room.
Bamboo room. Yeah. That's it. That's exactly it. So I think that this is going to be a version of that.
To put in the pouch like a real Capri Sun, because
not after 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Dana would know.
Not if you have,
I've never had that
the drink
Corinne.
package. Not yet. And I wonder if they're going to do like the bowls, like the fishbowl drinks at this place.
The fish bowls, yeah.
That could be like a fun. All I've read about this, and tell me if you all have read anything more, it's going to be like fruit forward, fresh drinks.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard anything beyond that other than tiki and fruit forward?
No, I haven't.
No,
that's
what
you
you
say
think
tiki.
of.
I hear
I love
forward.
tiki drinks.
Yeah.
So that'll be there.
Sure.
You guys want to talk about how sushi's going to change on this ship?
I know Dana's
I
looking
don't eat
forward to
sushi, but
You don't like sushi, Corinne?
No, it has to be like the most unhealthy sushi. It has to be
Deep
like
fried shrimp.
I did not know
with
this
like
about
cream
you,
cheese.
Corinne.
Yeah, I can't
I'm
do
with
it.
Corinne on this one.
I've tried.
Wow.
What?
What?
My
What is
8-year-old puts
happening?
down like
Man.
tuna rolls. You guys don't like it? Really?
I
Wow.
wish that I did because I feel like it's a very classy thing to
Oh, it's
eat,
so classy.
And I'm like, where's my chicken fingers? And
Oh my
instead of
gosh.
going out for sushi, that's like the hip thing to do.
Yeah.
But there is going to be a zooming in the park, which is on the Icon, but this is the first time that it's actually going to be on an Oasis Class ship, so that's pretty exciting for people who like sushi.
I love sushi. And I was
Me
so
too.
bummed I couldn't get sushi when we were on our pre-inaugural sailing. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry, it's not open yet, just to grab and
not
go.
open. Yeah,
I was so bummed
Yeah.
when we were on the
I hate that
Icon.
for you. Yeah.
super bummed.
You hate that for me, Dana?
Did you hear me?
Yeah,
Zach
we
and
heard you.
Zach and I got to check out Izumi in the park, and I thought it was very well done. I mean, what do you think, Zach?
I loved it. I think it's one of the most groundbreaking things Royals have done, and that's saying something. I think Central Park is such a serene place anyway, but then you add, the Trellis Bar, which also has food now on Icon. I don't know if that's coming to Utopia, but wow. And then you have the option to get sushi, and then you've got the bird sounds, and it's just, I don't know, it's one of my favorite places to be.
Yeah, and you add in the bubbles there, right? Isn't that what it's called? Bubbles? They have a champagne bar in there as well now. I love Central Park. I think it might be my favorite neighborhood, honestly.
Oh, definitely.
I definitely liked it better than the Surfside, but that's for another discussion on another day.
Yeah. Put a pin in that.
All right. Okay. I'm going to ask this question to Zach. Have you heard much about the new Royal Railway? This sort of seems to be shrouded in secrecy. They've only released one or two images of it.
I have not, but I will say I'm psyched up about it because I think that more immersive restaurants is exactly what Royal needs, especially when you're combating Disney. When they're coming
exactly
out with,
the comparison in my mind.
Yeah, because you've got the new Coco restaurant coming on Treasure. You've got the Morals with Marvel and on the Wish. Dana and I got to experience Empire Supper Club on Icon. So I think the more of that comes out is really going to elevate that experience and give more options than just your standard chops grill or Giovanni's, which are great on their own, but they're not immersive. They're not experiences, and that's what today's traveler wants. They want an experience.
100%. And it's got to be Instagrammable. And what's more Instagrammable than being on a cruise ship, but looking like you're actually on a train?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, do we know, is this an adult only experience or is this a family friendly one?
Well,
Have we gotten that information yet?
Every picture just shows adults, but I don't know that if it's actually been announced.
So I'm wondering if it's kind of like the Empire Supper Club where it's going to be more of an adult driven kind of thing, a date night experience, kind of like Empire
I don't
Supper Club
know.
is on Icon. Well, we will find out.
That might be the thing, and they might be priced accordingly. Who knows,
sure.
right?
I'm sure
that's going to cost a pretty penny. Fantastic. The next thing that I think we can talk about is they relocated Giovanni's. Based on this, do you guys know? So when I look at it, it almost looks like it's been moved to where and tell me if you guys think I'm wrong here, because I totally might be, but moved down to where Dazzle's used to be. Oh no, you know what it looks like it's at?
Wonderland.
It looks like it's at Wonderland. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking of, because that's on the lower level right there. So what do you guys think?
Was it? Yeah, it is Wonder. Yeah, it is lower.
Yeah, it's replacing
Wonderland's
Wonderland,
on
and
the
they're
lower
adding
level.
the terrace overlooking the boardwalk, which I think is really nice to have like an outdoor area.
Yes,
that's gonna be great.
Yeah, I
that
love
seems
that
super
idea.
super smart. I like Giovanni's. We had really good. We just did some samplers when we were on there last. I've done Giovanni's like regular. I think on Oasis or Symphony. I can't remember which one I did it on, and it was good.
Corinne and I did Giovanni's on Allure.
That's where
exactly. Yeah, I don't know.
Megan and I had a nice date night together.
When you're comparing Italian,
Jamie's is the one on Symphony. Yeah,
Jamie's is. Yeah. It has my heart. I love Jamie's.
Oh,
we had they have really good boards at Jamie's. That's what I remember from Symphony. Like really good, like a lot of like prosciutto and stuff like that.
Yeah. No,
and then did you say y'all had a date night, Corinne and Megan, at Giovanni's?
We did.
Yeah, we had a nice romantic dinner together. When we were on Allure, we were on like a trade cruise, so we were gifted, a night with signature dining, and that we were put at Giovanni's. So it was the two of us. We had it was a very intimate, nice, romantic dinner.
Oh, love that.
All right, so real quick question: what is y'all's favorite Royal Caribbean specialty restaurant that you all have ever done? Anybody?
John, what? So we did Central Park.
Yeah,
that's when we were on Oasis. What was the other one?
I agree.
I love 150.
150. Yeah.
We've done. I'm trying to think. I've done almost all of them. Which one?
I have done a lot of them.
Which one did you say, Megan? 150 and what else?
150 Central Park.
Chop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm delayed.
Out of all the ones I've done, I really, no, it's okay. You know which one I haven't done? And Dana, you just did it. You did Hooked, right? What did you think of Hooked?
Oh, I loved Hooked. Yeah. I'm actually going to do it again when I go on the Icon in a couple of weeks. I don't know. I like seafood, and I don't know. It's been good and consistent, and my kids eat it. And, I like the decor in there. It's really well done. Everything that we had was delicious. I think I had like a lobster roll or something. It was amazing. So anytime I can get my hands on some seafood, whether it's sushi or at Hooked, I'm going to definitely do that. So it was delicious. I loved it. I loved it on the Wonder. And then the Mason jar too. Did you mention the Mason jar, John?
Yes, we're about to. So go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. In the Mason jar,
that was a nice
our favorite.
It's a great segue.
Podcasting 101 right here. Like that's an ideal segue. And then it's like we lose points for bringing up the segue. But go ahead, Dana.
Okay. Well, yeah. Thanks for that. The Mason jar. I guess it's because I'm from the South, so I appreciate like good Southern food, and I think it was a really nice addition and kind of a nod to the South. Pimento cheese, deviled eggs, a good old fashioned. Of course, those are my favorites, but they also have like chicken and waffles, and just the breakfast I have not had. I've had the dinner, but I'm very curious to try the breakfast because I think the breakfast may be a wee bit better than the dinner from what I'm hearing. So I'll have to test that out and see.
Is Mason jar priced a la carte, or is it priced as like a flat fee, like if you go to some of the other specialty dining? Because like Portside barbecue on Oasis is what's the word I'm looking for? It's a la carte.
Right.
You
so
pay
we
like
have
what
the
you're going to order.
Yeah, unlimited dining plan. It was covered in there. We had no like extra. I mean, it was
okay.
We used
I'm
our
just curious,
unlimited
like if you're
dining
going in without a dining plan, if it's going to be like you pay, like you pick your sides and your mains. Zach, have you done it, or you had the dining plan as well when you did it?
Yeah, we had the dining plan, but that's my second favorite of the specialty dinings on Royal. Incredible food and even better drinks.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, anytime there's a a bar that specializes in bourbon, I am 100% in.
Yeah.
And plus, we can't get through an episode of the show without mentioning old fashions. It's just part of our show. So thank you, Dana, for bringing that up. My
favorite drink. So I fit right in.
Oh, you're in good place there, Zach.
I had one last night at dinner.
Yes.
So,
all
lucky.
Right.
It was really good. It was really, really good, actually. Lucky. Dana's not had a drink in a couple weeks, so.
A few days.
Oh.
Hours.
I was on a virgin. I was on a virgin cruise last week,
on a cruise.
So I can't. I was on a cruise.
She's only drinking when
Okay.
she's on vacation, which is
That's
about
true.
to be always. So,
Well,
Dana's on vacation more this summer than she's not. We'll just say that.
yeah.
Well,
it'll be a lot to talk about.
That's exactly it. We're just jealous. That's all. Like
We're so
it may
jealous.
it comes across as snark, or but it's just jealousy. We're like those mean girls in high school who are just jealous. It's fun.
Yeah.
All right.
If I could take y'all, I would.
Okay. I don't believe you. But anyway. All right. I do have one quick question. Do you guys think this is enough change or update to attract people, dining, restaurants, and bars and all that is it revolutionary enough, or does Utopia even need to be revolutionary, being a 3-4 night cruise ship?
I don't think it needs to be revolutionary in terms of dining. I think they're going on there more for the shows, for just seeing this brand new ship. I don't know if dining is top of mind for a 3 or 4 night cruise, personally.
Yeah.
I think the addition of the railway will, I think those immersive dining experiences will push people more towards it than not.
And it'll generate the buzz on social media, I think, that they're wanting, similar to the way that Supper Club did. And, like, I feel like that's really what they want to do, right? When they're doing these new rollouts, is they want to create the organic free media, essentially, online.
Yeah.
Well,
and
I think what's
interesting,
interesting, John, is that for me, it's you're taking things that you really love about that other cruise line that rhymes with Misney, and you're taking, like, for example, the food on Disney Wish, how they've got the marketplace and all around the pool. Well, now Royal says, okay, we're going to do food trucks. We're going to give you more options when you're sitting around the pool area, or the immersive dining. And I think they're taking those bits of things that people love about Disney, putting it on there as the ultimate weekend escape for families.
Yeah. Well, that's what they did on Icon. They totally borrowed the food stall idea and put that on Icon up in the Aquadome market. They're taking the best from the industry, putting in their own spin on it, and really they already have some of the best in the industry of other things, and then they're just kind of picking and choosing how to elevate their products. So I totally agree. I don't think that they need a brand new, they don't need to reinvent the wheel, I guess, is my thought.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it also goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning, where we do have those 3 and 4 night market right now. So it's I feel like it's just a kind of a different ball game. It doesn't need to have reinvented the wheel, like you said.
And no one else, and I don't know if we've really mentioned this, no one else in the industry besides Disney is putting their newest best ship on a 3-4 night sailing.
Right.
They're just not.
Right.
So I think it's going to be interesting to see how that all shakes out. And I'm most interested long-term price point on something like Utopia, a brand new ship being 3-4 nights, what that looks like, because Disney can maintain that higher price point for that 3 and 4 night. It'll be interesting to see what happens over the long term with Royal, where I feel like Icon prices started normal, then they shot up through the roof. And then you see Icon prices have come back down a little bit, but they're coming back down through guarantee categories and other things. So they, so they price protect the people who have already booked, who want to, have their assignment. So they're discounting Icon for sure, but in their own creative way. I'm really interested to see long-term what Utopia does price-wise. But speaking of pricing and whatnot, let's talk quickly about accommodations. There's not a lot of changes here. One thing, there's a brand new suite. We can just talk about it really, really quickly. It's called the Solarium Suite. and it's like off the solarium on Oasis there. And I think maybe maybe Symphony has it too. I know Oasis does. You can go off. I'm trying to remember if Symphony has it and Harmony does, but you can go off on the wings on the side of the solarium outside. Do you guys know if which ships have that already enclosed in the actual solarium? I can never remember which ones have it like
I'm not
open and
sure.
accessible.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember. Anyway, they're taking those wings that are essentially over the part of the bridge that sticks out, and they're making it a suite, and it looks nice.
It's pretty nice. I mean, any suite on Royal is always really nice, in my opinion.
Right, but there's no balcony. It's just wraparound windows. It's kind of like the
yeah,
panoramic
but I mean, some
suites
people
they have.
don't like a balcony. You know, it's a good option.
Especially if you have littles. I think having those panoramic windows is perfect.
Yeah.
That's very
I
true.
think it makes the room feel bigger anyway, too, having those like floor to ceiling windows.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to have the Ultimate Family Suite return. That's kind of like an Oasis Class staple. If you want to spend $80,000, I wonder have you guys seen the price point on it? Because it's only 3 or 4 nights.
No,
because it's not going to be $80,000, right? Like, so what is that pricing
like
at?
50?
Yeah, it might be still like really, really up there.
I'm sure it's still high.
Yeah,
yeah.
much
Split
more.
it,
Only 50
It's the
grand.
cost of a regular car as opposed to a luxury car.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Now, okay. So this is what they're doing. I think this is cool. Is they are bringing the Sweet Neighborhood modifications. I guess Sweet Neighborhood really didn't start till Wonder. Before that, it was just Coastal Kitchen and like the Sweet Lounge or the coast. You know, the Sweet Lounge in Coastal Kitchen. But now they're actually making it similar to Icon, but Wonder they did it where they have like an actual, in addition to a pool, like a sun deck, there's a pool and there's its own bar and like, you know, outdoor area, loungers, like really making it its own neighborhood. And I think that's smart. It'll be interesting to see how that works on a 3-4 night.
Yeah, it will be.
I mean, I would love it still. And I guess you can get into those sweet perks at a lower price.
I think it's a good chance for people to experience suites that may not be able to afford them on the 7-night sailings. It's a good entry level for them.
Exactly,
I don't disagree.
right. And it's great for us, you know, for our clients is that you can give them a taste of that experience. And then, you know, maybe they want more of it, they want it for longer, and it moves on to another 7-night sail.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Because once you have a cabana, you can't go back.
All right. Here it comes.
That's what they say.
That's right.
Because I've never done a cabana I've never gone to what is it?
Volcano
Cabana
Bay.
No, Volcano Bay without a cabana. Sorry, that's an inside
I'm never
joke.
gonna live that down. Never gonna live that down.
We got luxury princess over here.
Well, Zach had a cabana on Hideaway.
Oh, that's right.
Uh-huh.
How was that?
Yeah, we did. Go check out our video on YouTube.
No, I've seen the video. It looks so much fun. It looks so nice.
It was
I think
amazing.
I made a little
totally
cameo in there. I think I was in there for like a split second.
Oh yeah, no, you were there. You're definitely there.
So so I'm pulling up really quickly as we're chatting, just a random random 4 nights, not a weekend sailing, but a random 4 nights. And of course, the Ultimate Family Suite is sold out already on those sailings. But I did want to pull up, and we can talk. This will be a good transition to talk about this. The lead-in Sky Class room category on this is going to be a junior or a Sky Junior Suite. So one of the biggest complaints, and Zach, you can go into this in a second, but of the Junior Suite category is that you don't get all the benefits of being a full suite. So Royal Caribbean's recently introduced this new category. And so basically it's $4,800 for a family of 4 to be in a Sky Junior Suite in like a random Monday through Friday in May. I don't think that's terrible. Like, I mean,
$1,000 a day.
That's with kids sail free, you know, that sort of situation. What are your thoughts, Zach, on the Junior Sky Class or Sky Junior Suite? Sorry, I think
people don't want to pay $10,000, $12,000, $14,000 for that Sky Suite level. You know, they want to be able to enjoy the Suite Lounge or the Suite Deck and all those things that are included with that. Boom Internet's included. And so they want that, but they can't quite get to that next level. I think it's a great introductory level to get them, a family of 4 in there, as you said, 4 or 5 grand, and then being able to, hey, let's live a little sweet life, for a little while. I think it's brilliant.
Agree. Now, I think to me, the real interesting one is getting an aqua theater 2-bedroom suite. You could even put, 6 people, 8 people in that and split the price on that. And it becomes really more reasonable. When you have multiple people in a room like that, you could do without problem 3 couples in one of those, or like 2, families with small children easily in one of those aqua theater suites. So, and those come with, the genie. And that's at a fraction of what they would cost on a 7-night sailing. So,
right.
Just something to consider. Any other thoughts? Are there any other suites you really wish they would have brought over here from Icon or any of the other ships that you're not seeing?
The family, well, not a suite necessarily, but the family room from Icon that has the bunk beds. And I think that would have been a really nice inclusion. I mean, I know you still have your oversized rooms, but I think that's a real draw to Icon, are those rooms that have the bunk beds. I wish they would have done that.
Yeah, you do have more of a separation from the kids, which is nice. The parents can have their own space to the right, and the kids can go to bed to the left, and it's a nice look.
Right.
The only thing I dislike about that room, and we talked about this when we did our Icon coverage, is that, or maybe not even that room, because I think that room is fantastic. What my hang up ends up being is the lack of 5+ rooms on Icon. That's really it. It's that or very expensive suites. And what Dana has learned for her family of 5, that it is more expensive to be in that 5-person room, whatever they call it, the family infinite balcony room.
Yeah.
It's more expensive to be in that than you could get into for a family of 4 into an actual suite. And that blows my mind, because you're not getting any suite benefits, but because you have that 5th child, because you had that extra glass of champagne, 5 years ago, you now
you're paying for it does
for
make
the rest
things
of
difficult.
Yeah.
Or
doing 2 connecting rooms. I don't know if this Utopia is going to have the same little entryway into the connecting rooms like the Icon
I think
has.
I think it'll be like Wonder,
where
they connect inside.
So we had 2 connecting rooms on Wonder when we were on it last summer. And we like 2 bathrooms, and so I mean, we do like that benefit of having 2 rooms. But if you're pricing out one that sleeps 5 with the ultra spacious whatever, or you're looking at the infinite family stateroom, or you're looking at the suite, it's a lot. It's a lot to do for 5 people. So having, that's why we always opt most of the time to do 2 connecting instead. But we don't get any of those suite acts. And we've never gotten to do a suite just because there's just so many of us.
It's hard. There's very few room categories within Royal Caribbean suites that sleep 5 until you start getting into that 2-bedroom. There used to be like junior suites that could accommodate 5, and I feel like when they redid all of their inventory, they took those out of a lot of ships. They just reclassified them as 4.
Yeah, because my in-laws love doing a junior suite. So when they went on the Wonder with us, they had a junior suite, and then we were into connecting ocean view balconies. So it would be nice if they did that. But we're going to try out the infinite family ocean view. Lots of words.
That'll be fun.
We're going to try that out, all 5 of us in one room, and see how it goes. So I'll let you know on that. But
you had 5 grown-ups in that room, with the split bath before.
We had 4 grown-ups in that room.
Oh, it was only 4? Why did I think it was 5? No, it was 4.
We had 4.
It was you 3 plus one other. That's right.
3 plus one other, yeah.
In my mind, I thought it was 5. That would have been funny. Anyway, all right.
Real funny.
I'm sorry.
I digress. The entertainment on Utopia.
Thank you.
Is going to be really, really nice. Of course,
PTSD.
The Aqua
Go
show,
ahead.
you have to have a show in an Aqua Theater. I mean, you have to. I mean, that's like, you can't have a Royal
we know there will
Cruise
be
without
an
that
Aqua
now.
Theater show.
Yeah, it's just too good. So it's too good.
Before we move on beyond the Aqua show, do you guys have a favorite Aqua show? between the
I
different
loved
ships?
the one on Oasis. I thought that was so much fun with the 80s music.
I
And
think-
it was
yeah.
such a blast.
From the Oasis
Yeah.
class ships, I think Oasis. I mean, I think Oasis, the 80s one. Although the other ones I've seen are really good as well. But the one on Icon, I think Zach might be right. That show was just, I mean, there was an
Aqua Action.
argument with the Aqua Action show. There, what was? Oh no, that I'm thinking of the ice skating one where you guys were arguing about how
Oh.
the balls flew.
How about this?
Oh my God, I can't with that. Can't with that.
They're not on strings. I'm trying to remember now because it's yeah, I think you're right with the like the arms that moved and the lights and all that stuff on Icon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue on. Theater show. Is there going to be a theater show, Dana?
We don't know. I don't know.
It'll be some
I've read-
theater show. We just don't know if it'll be Broadway or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It may be more
I don't think they're
variety
going to do
type
Broadway.
acts.
It might be more, yeah. Because think about it, when they do a Broadway show, it's over 7 nights, and they have to have at least 2 or 3 showings,
Right.
so everybody who wants to can go see it.
Right.
You know, unless you're on Oasis, and then they have to beg you to go see Cats.
Not
They
Zach.
flat
He's
out
there.
acknowledge
He's there
that.
for it.
Not doing it.
He's there for
Not doing
it.
But yeah,
No,
I mean,
I don't
it'll
know.
be. They haven't announced a Broadway show. I don't think they will. I mean,
I
Wonder
don't
doesn't
think it'll
even
be a
have a
Broadway
Broadway
show.
show.
I think it'd be more variety acts, and I'm okay with that. I like the variety acts a lot.
Especially for a 3-4 night, you
Yeah.
know, setup. I think that works. Although
Yeah.
Disney does a Broadway show when they're on. They do. What's on Wish right now?
it.
They have Aladdin's on there.
Aladdin. That's what I'm. That's what
They
I'm
also
And
saying.
have
Little
like a
Mermaid.
mini Little Mermaid show.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
quite
Mermaid.
Broadway, but
Right, but the Aladdin is like their interpretation of the Broadway show, right? Like a ship
Right.
version of the Broadway show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
what's everybody's
Well, we'll
favorite
see.
ice skating show?
It's the one on the icon
for
with
me,
the
it's
orbs.
the icon one.
It's gotta be the
Icon.
icon.
Yeah.
With the
It's the
orbs, yeah, I
orbs.
think that one's
Yeah.
really good. I'll tell you which one I don't like is the one with the dancing ducks.
That's Oasis.
Yeah.
Oh
Mhm.
no!
It's cheesy.
No, damn it. It's not good.
So,
Why,
so
Zach, you
mine
bring it up.
doesn't even
What's yours?
exist anymore.
Oh, which
Which
one?
one
Was
was
it
it?
on like a smaller ship?
Themed one from Allure of the Seas, and they took it away. I loved it. That was my favorite one. It would throw the
Monopoly.
Does sound
dice,
like
and
fun.
it would be it was so fun.
Oh.
Oh, I'm
Yeah, I
kind
could
of
see
curious.
that.
I'm gonna have to look up an old YouTube video of this and see if I can find it.
probably
This
out
sounds
there.
really
I have
intriguing.
a
Yeah.
couple.
Okay, I'm interested in that. I'm interested
Yeah,
in
we'll
that.
have to look that up.
Yeah.
All right. So this next thing that we've got on our list I find super fascinating. So you know that Royal Caribbean's always had the tallest slide at sea, or the
Dry
longest slide at sea. Dry slide, not water
Yeah.
slide, but dry
Mhm.
slide. So slide period, right?
Uh-huh.
Or whatever. And apparently when MSC did their copycat, they're calling it the World MSC World Europa or whatever. Their new
Mhm.
World Class. It looks just like an Oasis Class. It's split down the middle and the back, and then it has like a giant slide that goes down it. You know, it's a little bit longer. So just to get them, Oasis or on Utopia, they are doing one that is 40 feet longer than the past Ultimate Abyss slides, and so you don't get stuck. Because you don't go very fast on Ultimate Abyss usually. They're adding rollers to speed you up halfway
Oh
through.
my goodness.
So like to keep you
Oh.
moving. And part of it now is clear. So there's going to be like a clear portion on it where you can like see
Ooh.
out. You can see like
That's
10
fun.
decks down.
yeah.
But it's 40 feet longer before a 10 deck drop. And it's the sole purpose of being bigger is to take back the claim from MSC.
Good for
They're
them.
like, you're going to copycat us.
Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and just make it bigger.
I love that.
The only
That's
good thing
fun.
about the Ultimate Abyss is that it gets me to Johnny Rockets faster.
There you go.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I was okay. So I first went on the Ultimate Abyss on Symphony, and everybody always built it up. So I was a little nervous almost about it, and then I got on it, and it was like slow. And I don't know if it's just like a little kids to go faster because they don't weigh much or what, but I was not like blown away by the actual experience. It wasn't
agree.
scary. It just felt like you're in a dark tube for a while.
Yeah.
Anyway,
They need the rollers, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
be fun. Yeah.
very cool. All right, Megan, you want to talk about this next thing?
Sure.
Part
So
of
there's going to be
entertainment?
2 casinos. It's kind of one of the new trends on Royal Caribbean ships. So 2 casinos on board. I mean, for the adults, that's always a fun experience. And past that, there'll be 10 DJs on board, including at Coco Cay as well. So lots of fun for families, but certainly plenty of fun for the adults as well.
Where are they going to put 10 DJs, or say it's 2 DJs are back on the ship, or so they say 10 DJs on board and at Coco Cay, but like what are the ones? There's at least 2 to 4 on Coco Cay. Does that mean 6 or so on board?
Well, you've got a Hideaway.
Where are the DJs?
One.
Hideaway has,
or
okay,
2.
Well, on Coco Cay is Hideaway. You have one at Oasis Lagoon, and then you have
is there one at the
when
beach?
you first.
Oh,
maybe one at the beach when you. I don't know. There's the live. Yeah, I don't know where the other ones are.
Oh, there may be. There's a little DJ
maybe
booth
South
right there.
Beach?
That's what I was
know.
thinking. Yeah,
one.
The beach.
Yeah. So say there's 6 on board. Where are they on board? Where
so
do they
you
have all the
probably
DJs?
have one in like the main atrium area, and then you'll probably have one. There's going to be a club, I'm sure. And then maybe Central Park, or maybe because there's not like a blues thing kind of like there is on Icon. So maybe there'll be a DJ there not playing maybe like.
There'll be one on the top deck. So I don't know. I just think it's interesting. 10 DJs seems like a lot. That's all I'm saying.
It does seem
I'll
like
count it, Dana.
I'll get a head
count
count
them when you're on.
When I'm on there.
Dana's homework.
1, 2, 6. Okay, got it.
I'll report back.
Yeah, and one thing on that, I think they did not clarify this, but I think the 2 casino thing, one is non-smoking, and hopefully it's a more substantial sized non-smoking.
Yeah.
Because the non-smoking ones on like Oasis were a joke. It's like you go into like something slightly bigger than a bedroom.
Yes.
Well, it used to be like blues on 4 or whatever, or jazz on 4, or jazz on 5, whatever that used to be. They've turned it into a non-smoking on Oasis. So
they did that to Harmony.
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
Harmony,
So Harmony had it as well. You're going to be on Symphony. Have they done that on Symphony? Do we know? Because when I was on it, there was not. That was a long time ago. All right. So it'll be interesting to see. But that's like a new trend. Do you guys think they should still have smoking in the casino?
Not in the casino.
I loved it during COVID when there wasn't any.
I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe not in the casino, but maybe like an access point to go out on a deck that's maybe right off of the casino. So if you're gambling and you're smoking or you're drinking and you want to go have a smoke, you're not going so far away from the casino. But maybe like an outdoor, kind of like what Virgin does, I guess.
That's always been my biggest disappointment. You get on this big, beautiful new ship, and then you go and you're walking through, even like on a port day when it's closed, there's just still people sitting there. Like lighting up because that's like a place that they can smoke inside.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. It's weird. Okay. They're gonna have the Perfect Storm water slides, the same ones they have on Oasis, Harmony, Wonder, Symphony. That whole shebang. Sadly, Allure never got her water slides. Real quick, couple quick questions, and then we'll wrap up this episode. Is there enough time to experience all the entertainment on board these ships in 3 or 4 nights?
It's never enough time.
No. 3 and 4 nights.
On Icon, we were there for 7 days, and we barely scratched
I
the
needed more.
surface
I was there
of that
10
place.
nights and needed more time. I mean, I feel like it's not enough time to do everything because then if you find something you really like and you want to do it again the next night, you feel like you can't because you have to go see something different that you didn't.
Else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well, that's fair. I mean, on Oasis, when we did our Oasis sailing, we all ended up in the same like 3 places every night.
Yeah.
So I feel like
we had our favorites.
Yeah. Which is what you end up doing. So, but like with all the show, I mean, I think that's the number one reason they're not going to do a Broadway show is because there's just no way everybody would be able to experience it in that short period of time.
Well, think about the structure. If you're going to do the railway dining experience one night, and then you want to do like a comedy act one night. I mean, you don't have enough nights. But again, I think this is designed to be like a little taste, to give you like a little bit of something, like a little nibble to draw you in to the 7 nights. Because, they have Star coming, the next year. So right after Utopia. And it's going to be doing 7 nights. So they're going to have 2 really big Icon ships doing 7 nights. So this may be kind of a draw, just like, oh yeah, see, it's good. It's good. We're nice. Cruises are great. And then do a 7 night after that.
Or just hop right on Wonder the next week if you really liked it that much.
Oh yeah. If it times out that way.
Now, because Wonder will still be there for at least a little while.
Yeah.
All right. Second to last question. What entertainment do you think is missing that could be there from Icon?
I think Zach said it already.
the dueling pianos. I think
Yeah.
that was one of my favorite places to hang out on Icon. Why not
Yeah.
bring that over to? The pubs are great. It's just they weren't as packed on Icon as the dueling pianos was. So like use that space for something else. I don't know.
And I've always noticed though, like it's really weird. You could be on the same ship one week and the karaoke packed, and then the next week no one's in karaoke. It's so weird how certain venues are popular with certain sailings, and then that's really reliable. That one really relies on crowd participation. Dueling pianos is somewhere in the middle, I think, because you do need some crowd participation, to be, really successful, but it's not like you're depending on them to like have the show. It's better when there's, the critical mass, but so I think people, my point is that the people on the ship make those venues what they are.
Yeah,
sure.
And like, there's nothing worse than walking into a dead karaoke room.
Oh my God.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Is anybody else
Especially if they're
surprised
singing
that
Sweet
they're
Caroline.
bringing back the kids' playscape?
Did they get rid of the playscape?
No, they're bringing it back. I'm surprised. I thought they would add another flow rider back instead of the.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's shocking to me because I don't understand why they got rid of especially because you only have 3 or 4 nights to experience the flow rider. And then you're going to have a playscape instead. It makes no sense. Like the only reason they did it for Wonder was because Wonder was supposed to be in Europe or in Asia, where they didn't think 2 flow riders were necessary. And now going out of Port Canaveral, I feel like they should have had it.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point, Zach. Because too, like not only are you trying to get on it as a, just to check it out, but then you have like all these certain times, like sometimes the teen groups take over, so you lose a lot of those available times to ride throughout the sailing.
There's like sweet guest windows for them to go.
So there's only small little windows where you can do the flow rider. So I don't get that either. But again, I think they're trying to appeal to families that have never cruised before, and having like a playscape is something familiar, and maybe that, they think, okay, my kids will have this to play on, so they'll have something to do, I don't know. Or maybe they're going to move it over to another place. Who knows? To another port.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Who knows where it's going to be after its first year or two.
Right.
In
so they may
Port
be
Canaveral.
thinking ahead of for that,
That's true.
See. All right. It'll be hard to reposition though. They've got to go all the way down around. Right? Because it won't fit through the Panama Canal. So it's going to have to go down around, South America.
Yeah, she's thick.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, there it is.
Some junk in that
all right,
phone,
last question, and we'll go ahead and wrap up this episode. How do you think Royal putting their newest Oasis Class ship on a 3-4 night is going to and every single sailing going to Coco Cay? How do you guys think that's going to disrupt the cruise industry? Everybody stare at me at once.
I think Disney's already doing it, and they're doing it successfully. I think the Wish is a prime example of how they're doing that. And I think Utopia has a chance to compete in that market. And I think if this is successful, they will do more of this.
Yeah.
Such a popular port. Everyone. Sorry, John. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, everyone wants to go to Perfect Day. So it's as opposed to Nassau or... so I think it's going to be a highlight, and people are going to want it. It's going to be in demand.
I think it will too. I think Disney's doing it, but Disney is like a premium cruise line, where Royal Caribbean, even though a lot of times its price is a premium cruise line, its main competitor, I guess Disney and historically has been a lot more expensive than Disney or than Royal Caribbean the last couple of years. So they've kind of not had that direct competition. But I feel like Royal, like you were talking earlier, Zach, is introducing those dining experiences that are more interactive, and they've upped their entertainment game. And they definitely have, in my opinion, the better private island right now. And all of these different things. I do feel like they're more and more on par. And this is an interesting time in, in the marketplace for them to put all of this very expensive egg in this basket. So it'll be interesting to see how that shakes up stuff with Disney. Is that going to affect Disney's
I think it will
on Wish?
I think it will. I really do,
So-
They
especially
keep
when you're looking
underpricing
at
it as opposed
Yeah.
to Disney.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that
if they could
that's
just get
private
just under
island.
Disney,
Mhm.
just under Disney, and then make up for it with the upcharges on the island, I think they're ready to go. All right.
I mean,
Well, on that
it's
note,
going to be interesting.
yeah, it will be, right? We'll see what happens. I'm excited to see what the next, and then that doesn't even take into consideration NCL and Carnival and everybody else who's rapidly trying to play catch up with Royal Caribbean at this point. So it'll be interesting to see what moves. I mean, we saw the Carnival's private island announcement, and it's like that's like 4 or 5 years too late. Royal Caribbean,
Right.
as Carnival's announcing that, they've announced 2 beach clubs, one in Nassau, one in Cozumel. I mean,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? They're like, we'll see your announcement for a private island. We've already got the best one, and we're going to give you 2 private beach clubs in the destinations where people end up staying on the ship anyways.
Which
Like,
is that's genius.
the Nassau one is so
The Nassau
genius,
one,
and then they're going to
hands down
control all the
genius.
money. Yeah,
Yeah.
because no one ever gets off the ship in Nassau
No,
now. It's
and
like
if
it
your
used to be,
beach-
you just stay on. Yeah,
It says you check out the slides, you do the flow rider, you do all the stuff. It's going to be interesting to see if your drink package and stuff work at the beach club like it
At the
does
beach
on
clubs.
Coco. Yeah, I'm curious.
Could you imagine on a 4-night sailing, every
may
day of your
tip it.
trip, it
Yeah,
works. Your
because
drink
usually
works.
when you get off the ship, you're like, oh, I got to get off the ship. I got to pay for food. I got to pay for drink. Except when you're at Coco. But if their beach club is able to correlate that would be interesting.
You can
I'm just saying.
You can only do that if that's exclusive to cruise guests only. Has that been confirmed, or other people?
I think they said. Didn't they say that it was just for Royal Caribbean cruise guests?
Even if it's not exclusive, though, they should be able to take other methods of payment. Just like if you're on, I don't know how their point of sale system works. I'm just saying that would be a great idea if anybody from Royal is listening to our podcast.
I think it'll also depend on their relation. Yeah. I think it'll depend on their relationship with the vendors locally, like who's actually staffing that.
Mhm.
Because when you look at the way NCL does it on their private island is it Belize? What is it? What is the name of their private island that they have? It's Belize or in Honduras. I don't remember. It's going to come something K. Anyway, maybe it's not K. Anyway, on that experience, your drink package does not work because it's all privately owned. Like all of the vendors are privately, and you have to pay them separately.
Right. Because like when you go to Great Stirrup Cay or you go to Coco Cay, like it's the same crew that's or a lot of the same crew that's on the ship is getting off the
Coco
ship.
Cay it is for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And same with Castaway. And I think Great Stirrup Cay is the same way. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, but I think it's a great idea. I think they nailed that. Hopefully they execute it well and they keep the same vibe that's on the ship going at the beach club. It's kind of like what Virgin does. Virgin's Beach Club. Okay, there's a good example right now. They're in Bimini. Okay, they have a beach club at Bimini that people can buy a day pass to and go to, is my understanding.
Right.
But it's for cruise guests, but your drink package works, your bar tab works on the island, on Beach Club at Bimini.
Yeah.
So it works. They make it work. So maybe.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. By the way, it's Harvest
crossed.
Cay or Harvest Key, however you pronounce it, in Belize. That's the one that NCL runs, but it's all the vendors are local. So you end up having to pay out of pocket for your drinks, your food, anything on the island.
Yes, I don't love that.
I don't either.
Okay. We'll see.
So, anyway, on that note, we're actually going to go ahead and wrap up this episode. Zach, thank you so much again for joining us today.
Thanks,
it was wonderful
Zach.
to have you. Can you remind our listeners where they can find you?
Yeah, Glenn Exploration Travel, Get by Zach on YouTube. It's been fabulous. I've enjoyed hanging out with you. Thank you so much for the invite. I can't wait for Utopia of the Seas.
Us too. Thank you again. And if you enjoyed this episode of the Where We Roam podcast, just had a hiccup there. Where You Roam podcast. I can't speak. If you enjoyed this episode of the Where We Roam podcast, you can find us also on Facebook. You can let us know your feedback. Let us know what you think. Tell us your thoughts if you're excited about Utopia of the Seas. And also, we'd appreciate a like and subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. Also, you can check us out over on YouTube by doing a search for the Where We Roam podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you real soon. Bye-bye.